Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be learning how to cut and sew this bubu dress with organza ruffles by the side. If this looks like something you are interested in, kindly watch this video to the very end. Thank you. Depending on your size or the size of the person you're making it for, you're going to be needing about 3 to 4 yards of fabric and 3 to 4 yards of organza. And as you can see, I already cut the organza into strips. So you're going to decide on how wide you want the strip of organza to be, and you're going to cut it out. So for this one here, I have about 7.5 to 8 inches, including the stitching allowance, because you're going to be weaving both sides of this organza. So you're going to cut as many as possible, and you're going to join all of the pieces together. Okay. Then as for the fabric, you're going to be folding your fabric into 4, just like I just did here, and then on the shoulder I'm not going to have a joining. Okay, so yours can have a joining. At the same time, you might decide not to have a joining. And from the shoulder, you're going to take the dress length. So if you want the organza to go round, to be included in the length of the gown, you're going to subtract the length of the organza from the length of your gown. So I'm going to be exhausting all the fabric length, and I'm going to be exhausting all the width. So you go ahead and take your measurements, your dress length, your shoulder plus your sleeve length. That is where your organza is going to get to. Okay, so but for this one I'm going to be using all of this length. If you take the shoulder measurement divided by 2, then you can now take the sleeve length. But if you want to exhaust the fabric width, just like I am doing here, you can just go ahead and make use of all of the lengths. There's no need of measuring the sleeve or measuring the shoulder. So altogether here I have about 21 inches. Okay, so yours might be different from that. So after you divide the shoulder into 2, you are going to take the sleeve length where you want the organza to get to. Okay, so after that, now I'm going to take the neck width and the neck depth. I'm going to be marking the front and the back neckline together. So I'm going to start with the back neckline. I measured 3 inches wide and 1 inch deep. I'm going to connect it together. After that, you're going to measure from the shoulder again to the neck depth. So for this one, I use about 7.5 depending on the measurement, and I'm going to connect back to the neck width like so. So the front is going to be a V neckline, while the back is going to be a regular round neckline. Because I'm not going to be joining the shoulder, so I'm going to cut off the back neckline, open up the fabric, then I'm going to cut off the front. When you open up the fabric, make sure you notch the shoulder. You want to notch the shoulder, notch the center to ensure that you're still in line. So for you to be sure, you can just align the back neckline just to be sure that the front neckline is correct. Okay, I just hope you understand how I explain this. Once you are done aligning the fabric like so, you secure it with a pin if necessary, then you are going to cut off the front neckline. Okay, so when you're cutting, make sure you leave about half an inch that you're going to use to turn the neckline, because you're going to be cutting a facing for the neckline. So but if yours is going to have a joining by the shoulder, that means you're going to be cutting the front neckline and the back neckline separately, so you might not need all of this process. You're going to place a piece of fabric underneath the neckline like so. The fabric has to be unfolded, and the folded edge has to be towards the folded edge of the actual fabric, just like this. I hope you understand. I'll pin it down, then I'm going to cut out exactly what I have on the neckline. As I'm done cutting out, and this is what it's going to look like. Okay, you're going to have the actual fabric, and you're also going to have the facing. So go ahead and notch the center back of the facing, because this will help you when you want to place it on the actual fabric. So to turn the neckline now, as you can see, this is what it's going to look like. Don't mind, so please don't mind the color of my lining. Just get a matching fabric, and if you have enough fabric, just go ahead and make use of it. You're going to align the fabric and the lining. You pin it down if necessary, and you're going to stitch all round. So the facing is going to be placed on the right side of the actual fabric, so that by the time you stitch it, you're going to turn it to the wrong side, just like the way we do our regular basic neckline facing. I'm going stitching down, and this is what it looks like. Okay, so what you're going to do now, you're going to notch the center front, the shoulder area, and the back neckline. Just notch all of these points so as to make your seam relax. So you have to notch the center very well so that part would relax. And when you are stitching, you can also place your hemming gum and stitch together. So after that, I'm going to fold the edge. So guys, I'm done doing it, and this is what it looks like. Okay, you top stitch, and you can also use an hemming gum to hold it down like this. So if you use an hemming gum, the sewing is not going to show outside. So guys, this is what it's going to look like on the right side. All right, so the next thing we're going to do now is to add our organza all around by the side and the down part. If you want yours to be by the side alone, it's fine. Before I proceed, the next thing I'm going to do is to join all of this organza piece together to make it a longer strap. Then I'm going to weave both sides of the organza. I'm done weaving, and this is what it's going to look like. And I already joined all of this strap together. So all of this that I have here is just one piece, because I want the sewing to be one. So I'm going to sew it all round. Please note, the organza is going to be 2 layers, okay? You're going to be placing 2 layers on each other like this. Then you are going to stitch on the side or from the hem. And when you want to sew the organza, you're going to place in the right side of the organza on the right side of the fabric, and you're going to flip it over when you are done sewing. Because I want the organza to go around from the side to the hem, I'm going to be shaping the hem of this dress, okay? And for you to be able to do that, you're going to fold your fabric into 4 again, align the fabric very well, and you decide on how high or how the shape is going to be. So with this, you can simply use your discretion or use any measurement of your choice. You can, just decide on how you want it to be, but at the same time, you don't want it to be too curvy, or just play around with it. So me, I'm going to be taking from the hem, I'm going to measure up to about 10 to 11 inches, okay? And from there, I'm going to shape it back to the hem of the dress like so. As you can see, you can just use your free hand and shape it. This is optional, okay? So yours might be narrow like this, and at the same time, it might be wider. Then you're going to cut it out following this shape that you have. So guys, I'm done stitching the organza all around, and as you can see, this is what it looks like. So the next thing we are going to do is to stitch the side of this bubble. So this does not have a specific measurement. It's going to be a free dress, except in rare cases you can just go ahead and take your hip measurement, but then this is a free dress. You do not need any measurement except for the sleeve opening and the slits on the hem of the dress. So for you to know how wide you want to open it, you can use your bust point as a guide, and you can also decide on how wide you want it to be. So from the shoulder, I measured down to 10 inches, and from this part where I have the organza, I measure 7 inches inward. So yours can be more than 7 inches. So you're going to measure the 7 inches from that 10 inches straight down. And for you to know how much more opening you want at the hem, from the hem of the dress, you're going to measure up to about 18 to 20 inches, depending on the person's height. So I'm going to stop my at 18 inches, and I'm going to connect the 7 inches. Then I'm going to stitch from that point back to the 10 inches. I hope you understand my point. I'm going to take it again. From the shoulder, you measure down to your bust point, or you decide on how wide you want the sleeve opening to be. For this one, I'm working with 10 inches. I measure 10 inches from the shoulder, and then from this part I have organza, I measure 7 inches inward. Okay, so from that point now, I'm going to take my measurement again. Then from the hem, I'm going to measure upward to 18 inches. And on that 18 inches, I'm going to come in by 7 inches from the organza, and I'm going to connect it back to the 10 inch at the top. So you measure your 7 inches all through, just to ensure you have a straight line. Then you're going to stitch on this line, and that's all. So guys, this is what we are going to have at the end. As you can see how wide it is. Yours might not be as wide as this. Decide on how you want it to be, and as you can see the shaping, it shows. So guys, thank you very much for watching. If you find this video helpful, kindly click on the like button, like this video, share, so that other people on this platform can find this video and can make use of it. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, so that whenever I drop a new video, you will be notified. Till we meet again in my next one. Bye bye.